Y'all, I've already mentioned it before how much I do not like California. And yes, 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 they are just letting people literally get away with murder over there. Literally, a murderer, a person who stabbed her boyfriend over 100 times because she was on a high of cannabis. I think it was something else, but they're claiming that it's cannabis, and she was justified in doing so because she just didn't know. And she gets a slap on the wrist. Y'all, we're going to get into this video, but before we do so, do not forget to leave a comment down below. Also, like, subscribe, and hit the thanks. Now, let's get into this video. California audiologist who stabbed boyfriend 108 times in quote-unquote cannabis-induced psychosis gets slapped on the wrist. Y'all. The California woman who was convicted of killing her boyfriend by stabbing him 108 times during a cannabis-induced psychosis receives a slap on the wrist. Brian Spexter, 33 years old, was sentenced to 2 years of probation. 2 years of probation and was ordered to perform 100 hours of community service. So you can stab someone. California is saying that it is just that you can stab someone 108 times and then you get community service of 100 hours and 2 years of probation. Wow. I can see this ending, I don't know, bad. Let's continue. Community service after being found guilty of killing her new boyfriend, Chad O'Melia. Ventura County Superior Court Judge David Worley, we need to do an investigation on him, ruled that Spectre, quote unquote, had no control over her actions when she entered into a psychotic episode and stabbed O'Melia, 26 years old, repeatedly in his Thousand Oaks apartment on May 28, 2018. Also shows how slow justice is served. Now, my question is this, y'all. What was she smoking? Okay, I'm curious. Because she's saying, they're saying, cannabis. It couldn't have been cannabis. Or if it was, it had to have been laced with that K2 synthetic marijuana stuff. Or some fentanyl or something like that. Or maybe some other powder substances. But you never heard this before. Okay? Now, you've heard it when people be like, yeah, I was on meth. Or, yeah, I was on crack. I did some crazy things. But you never heard someone say, yeah, I was on weed. And, you know what I mean? I broke into someone's house. And, you know, I stabbed them 108 times. No one has ever said that. So I think this girl was on some other stuff. Or the lady was on some hard drugs. Okay? That they're trying to paint as something else. But let's continue. Experts for the prosecution and defense both found that the marijuana bong hit given to Spectre threw the woman into a badly psychotic episode. She and O'Melia, the boyfriend, deceased boyfriend, had been seeing each other for a few weeks. They ain't even been together that long. Before she brutally murdered the 26-year-old accountant. Wow. And that's also why they said new boyfriend, because she's only been with him for a couple weeks. After Spectre had killed O'Melia, law enforcement found the woman covered in blood, hysterically crying next to her deceased boyfriend's body, still gripping the knife. She then plunged the knife into her throat when police attempted, and I'm going to insert an image of her if I haven't already. That's why she has that mark. Into her throat when police attempted to disarm her. Spectre also stabbed her dog during the rampage. O'Melia was pronounced dead at the scene. Under California law, California, a person is seen as responsible for their actions when impaired by drugs or alcohol unless their intoxication is involuntary. Let's read that again. Under California law, a person is seen as responsible for their actions when impaired by drugs or alcohol unless said intoxication is involuntary. What does that even mean? Jurors took less than 4 hours to find Spectre guilty of involuntary manslaughter. How is it involuntary? How is it involuntary? I guess I'm confused. So if someone is drunk and they hit someone's car and they end up killing the other person, is that involuntary too because you took alcohol? I'm confused. And you didn't mean to kill this person, but the person died. Or if someone's drunk and someone beats someone's brains in on the side of the street, on the curb, is that then considered involuntary? Or is it only with weed? I'm confused how that works. Because it said by drugs or alcohol. So if someone takes crack or meth, MDMA, methamphetamines, insert Adderall, or whatever. If they take that and do the same exact thing that she did, would you then consider that involuntary? Let's continue. Jurors took less than 4 hours to find her guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Chad O'Melia's father, Sean, accused Worley, that's the judge, of being biased and claimed following his ruling that the judge set a dangerous precedent. Yes, this is what the father said. He just gave everyone in the state of California who smokes marijuana a license to kill someone. There is no winner in this tragedy. There can be, however, accountability. All right. Now, this is what they're allegedly saying happened. Allegedly, she had 2 hits of the bong. She ran to the bathroom, went on this murderous rampage, stabbed him 108 times, and stabbed the dog, and then tried to stab herself. I'm thinking, like I said, no, not like I said. This is. This had to be laced with something, yo. I've never seen something like this attached to this. Alcohol? Okay. Which I feel like this. If you drink alcohol and the first thing you're like, ooh, someone got to catch these hands, you don't need to be drinking. Because there's different kinds of people. When I drink, let's say I'm like, the tipsy kind of feeling or whatever. I'm one of the chill people. Okay. I'm chill, but I'm like chill at first. And then I get like real friendly and I'm like, woo. You know what I mean? I'm happy. But here's the thing. Then you got those kind of people who they drink and they're just chill. They're like, yeah, it's nice. And they're just chilling. Whatever. Cool. Then you got those other people who get like extra talkative but annoying. I'm not that person. But you get those people that they borderline the happiness and then they just get to the straight up just obnoxious. That's that person. And then you get the people who start getting like violent. They want to start arguments. They want to start fighting. They want to start doing crazy stuff. And for me, I'm like, why? What's the reasoning behind that? You know what I mean? So I just feel like this. If you're that person who, when you take drugs, and they claim this was her first one, but if you're that person where, you drink alcohol and you're like, okay, I'm getting violent, you got a problem. Okay. If that's the first thing that happened, you got a problem. You don't need to be drinking at all, ever. Okay. I don't care. You don't need to be drinking at all. If you're a person where you smoke weed, which I've never heard of this before, who's like, I need to get violent. Because every person I've ever heard who smoked weed, they're just chilling out. They're like, yeah, it's nice. It's chilling. Oh, man, that's fun. Everyone's talking some ish, shooting ish and all that. But no one's out here, I need to fight you. I'm high. I've never seen that, yo. I've never seen that. So for me, I think this was laced with something. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know where she got her stuff. They didn't mention in the article where she possibly got this, marijuana from, whether it was from a dispensary or whatever. I highly doubt it was from a dispensary. I'm thinking that she got it from somewhere else and somehow got laced with something, because marijuana, it reacts differently in different people. Some people, it can be a pain reliever. Some people kind of make you like, maybe if you're nauseous or whatever, it's just like, but I've never heard of this before. You know what I mean? I find this hard to believe in the fact that the judge went and said like, yeah, it was involuntary. She didn't know what she was doing. I'm like, just like the father said, Sean, Omelia's father, Sean, you're kind of giving people the green light. All you gotta say is you were on some weed, and then it was involuntary. What's voluntary? What's voluntary? If this is involuntary, they said only if it's involuntary. Well, that could be anything. There would be no accountability for anything. Let me know what y'all think about this story down below.